Outside shot of Sunny Mart, a 24-hour convenience store beside a quiet highway. Flickering neon sign hums in the cold night air. Empty parking lot. Wind pushes an old receipt across the asphalt. Camera slowly pans toward the glass doors. Inside, only one cashier moving around. Fluorescent lights buzz above the aisles. Shelves of snacks, soda, and cleaning supplies glow pale under the artificial light. The employee wipes the counter lazily, glancing at the clock, 1:56 a.m. In the background, faint hum of refrigerators and the clicking sound of a cooling vent. Camera follows the worker's slow routine. Restocking chips, arranging candy, scanning old receipts. Everything feels mechanical, like muscle memory. He yawns, the only human sound breaking the silence. The security monitors behind the counter show empty aisles and an empty lot. As he bends to pick up a dropped can, the intercom above lets out a short static burst. Not long, just enough to make him pause. He glances at the ceiling, frowns, then shrugs. The clock ticks louder now. Security monitor flickers once. Cam 3, parking lot view, shows a faint blur under the far streetlight. Almost human-shaped. The employee notices, squints at the screen. The shape doesn't move, just stands still, faintly outlined by the light. He walks to the glass doors and looks out. The parking lot appears empty. But when he returns to the monitor, the blur seems closer, now beside the first row of parked carts. The flickering light above the spot pulses irregularly. The figure's shadow sways unnaturally with each flicker. Camera cuts between the monitor and the employee's face. Sweat on his temple. Breathing deeper. He rubs his eyes and switches to another feed. All cameras normal, except Cam 3, which now shows static lines across the frame. The figure gone. The store hum changes. Refrigerator buzz fades slightly, replaced by faint dripping sounds. No source visible. The worker checks the floor, clean. Yet the sound continues, somewhere deeper in the aisles. He walks down aisle 2, camera tracking behind him. Packages of chips and drinks line both sides. One soda bottle rolls off the shelf on its own, stopping by his shoe. He freezes. The store lights flicker once. A long pause. Then silence again. Back at the counter, the monitors now cycle through distorted feeds. Each camera flickers for half a second, showing flashes of movement. Aisle 4, something like a shoulder. Aisle 6, a reflection too tall to belong to anyone. Then static. He leans closer, his face illuminated by cold screen light. Ceiling lights dim slightly. Buzz grows louder, rhythmic, almost like breathing. Every second bulb flickers, creating dark and bright patches down each aisle. He steps forward, and his shadow stretches unnaturally long across the floor. That same dripping sound grows heavier, now like footsteps on wet tiles. Slow, dragging, uneven. Camera pans toward the store's rear hallway. Door to the storage room is half open. Inside, faint light from a swinging bulb moves gently side to side. The employee slowly walks toward the half-open door. Each step echoes softly. As he nears the door, the bulb inside stops swinging. Completely still. He pushes the door wider, the bulb immediately starts swaying again, faster. Boxes stacked neatly, floor wet in spots. No one inside. As he turns to leave, something moves behind the shelves. A dark blur slipping out of frame. The bulb swings violently, almost touching the ceiling. The sound cuts to total silence. Then, faintly, through the air vent, a low humming begins. Cut to the counter monitors again. Every camera shows the same thing. The employee standing in different aisles. 6 versions of him, all facing away, unmoving. The real employee stares at the screens, confused and terrified. One of the versions turns its head toward the camera. Just a faint smile. Suddenly, all lights return to full brightness. No sound. No distortion. The monitors return to normal feeds. The employee stands motionless, still facing the screens. On cam 3, the parking lot is empty again. Except for one shopping cart slowly rolling across the asphalt, though there's no wind. He breathes heavily, forcing himself to calm down. Grabs a cup of coffee from the counter. The humming has stopped. The bulb in the storage room finally stills. Everything seems normal again. As the clock ticks to 3 a.m., camera zooms in slowly on the reflection in the store glass. For a brief second, there's a second figure standing beside him in the reflection. Tall, blurred, featureless. But when he turns around, there's no one there. Fade out with the sound of faint humming starting again, distant and low. The scene opens with early dawn light bleeding through the glass doors. The store is empty. Camera drifts past aisles, everything back in perfect order. The clock reads 6:05 a.m. The employee stands behind the counter, eyes hollow, staring blankly at the monitor wall. Every screen shows static for a moment, then cuts to live feed. Normal again. He exhales, relieved. Customers begin to appear one by one. A man buying cigarettes. A woman getting coffee. The hum of conversation returns. Sunlight filters through the glass, golden and soft. But the camera lingers on the employee's face, he's not smiling. His gaze flicks repeatedly toward Cam 3's screen, as if expecting something. As a customer exits, the sliding doors open and close slowly. A brief flicker passes across the screen, a tall, distorted silhouette at the edge of the frame. No one seems to notice. The employee blinks hard, rubs his eyes, looks again, nothing. He shuts off the monitors. He clocks out, hangs his apron. The store looks peaceful again. Birds outside. The hum of morning traffic beginning. He steps into the daylight, squinting as the brightness hits his tired eyes. The door closes behind him with a soft hiss. Parking lot, wide shot. The same spot where the figure once stood, empty now. But as he walks past the far light pole, the flicker pattern continues, though there's no visible bulb fault. Camera follows him crossing the lot. His reflection appears faintly distorted in every car window. Inside his car, he starts the engine. Radio turns on automatically, faint static, then music. Halfway through the drive, the song distorts, slowing unnaturally. Before fading completely. The radio screen flickers, CAM3 active. He slams the power button, silence. He parks in front of his small apartment building. The neighborhood looks quiet, washed in morning light. As he walks up the stairs, a low hum can be heard faintly again. Same tone as the one in the store. He freezes, looks back, no one behind him. Camera pans through the small living room. Dim curtains, unmade couch bed, scattered receipts from the store. He drops his bag, sits down. The hum persists, not from outside, but faintly through the vent near the ceiling. He turns up the TV to mask it. The hum grows louder, syncing perfectly with the refrigerator's motor. He stares at the TV, static for a moment, then flashes of the store's security feeds. Cam 3, Cam 6, Cam 2. All showing the empty aisles, flickering lights. He stands up slowly, disbelief in his face. The hum becomes layered, multiple tones merging together. Lights in the apartment begin flickering the same way as in the store. One short flicker, everything dims. His reflection in the TV doesn't move with him. It blinks 1 second too late. He steps backward. The reflection doesn't. Everything shuts off. The apartment is pitch black except for faint daylight leaking through curtains. The hum stops completely. Silence stretches long enough for unease to settle deep. Then, slow creaking from the kitchen. Camera pans, the refrigerator door is slightly open. He approaches cautiously, light from his phone trembling in his hand. Inside the fridge, milk, leftovers, and one unfamiliar item. A Sunny Mart receipt dated tomorrow's date. Total, £0. Cashier, unknown. He drops the phone, the screen light flickers on the walls. For a brief frame, the shadow of another person passes over him, but there's no one there. The hum returns, this time coming from every direction. He stumbles back toward the living room. The TV turns itself back on. Live feed again, the convenience store, same as before. But now, the store clock on screen reads 3 a.m. And the person behind the counter is him. He's standing motionless, humming softly, eyes blank. He screams silently, no audio, only visuals. The apartment walls subtly begin to resemble the store's tiled walls. Light tubes appear along the ceiling edges. The living room transforms frame by frame into the interior of Sunny Mart, empty, humming, infinite. Wide aerial shot. The employee now stands behind the counter again. The same camera angle as the first night. Security monitors glow. Cam 3 shows the parking lot. And outside stands a new employee walking toward the door. The humming deepens, turning into rhythmic mechanical breathing. Camera zooms slowly toward the monitor wall. Each feed shows a different version of the store, different timelines looping endlessly. The main screen flickers one last time. Employee record, active, shift never ended. Black screen. Soft humming fades into silence. Then one last sound, the door chime of Sunny Mart opening. Cut to black.